It is Sunday at 5:33 a.m. Insomnia is in full force. So I got up and read a few things on social media, and it just baffles me on what's happened to people nowadays. It really does. I can understand why there was a recent addiction suit after a social media because that it is. It's an addictive thing to go to. And apparently that's what everybody or most people live by or live off of nowadays. And everybody thinks they're a therapist and know it all. I just had a post where somebody told me that they were an expert, but yet they were anonymous on a group called Scammers Unlimited or something like that. I'm not going to give out the exact names, but um, I had something to say to that person. We're not know-it-alls. I don't know everything. I'm trying to still figure out what even happened to me. I know that it was brainwashing and that sort of thing, but I'm still trying to dig deep. As I've mentioned that I'm in therapy. But the biggest thing nowadays is just we don't need to sit there and be know-it-alls and be so rude to everybody in the world, or even just, whoever. I mean, when you pass by somebody, just smile and say hi. They'll probably look at you funny because it's not a common occurrence now. When I first moved here to Texas from California 26, 27 years ago, couldn't even get here quick enough. But I was used to when somebody put their fingers or hands up, it was the middle finger gesture. When I moved here, it was a wave. And I was just shocked. I thought, oh my God, people are even kind, driving by. You rarely get that anymore, even here in Texas. It's a sad world we're living in, and people have just, they're over the top. I mean, they really are. I try to ignore it, but sometimes it's too hard. One thing I don't take kind to is victim blaming of any type of crime. This particular individual came forward and said she'd been in a scam for 5 years. And then, boy, the comments started, you know. That's not necessary. If you don't have anything nice to say, then just shut up. I mean, I'm going to be rude about it. Just shut up because it's not your place to judge. It really is not. Scroll on. If you don't like a post about somebody or something or a topic, you don't always have to put your opinion out there and start a war or a fight. God forbid, don't bring up political stuff. Don't bring up religion. Um, that's always been the case. But this world is so divided. It's a shame. It's really a shame. But I want to share this. I had a little interview with somebody that does a podcast yesterday, and there were a couple questions that she asked, and I think those are still one of them. They're still the most unanswered or unexplained questions that anybody really knows, psychiatrist, psychologist, you know, like with this one person that was anonymous, claims she's an expert. There are no experts in this, but it's just really not known because we're still getting to the bottom of what happens to somebody. I'm still trying to understand what happened to me. But what it was, what can a family member do to help stop you? That's one of the things these scammers do is they alienate you from your family and friends. That's what happened to me. I became a Mary that I didn't even know. So, I mean, even looking back on my chats and all that with these scammers, that's not the Mary I knew. And that's what happens to victims. The best, you know, my comment to her was, um, I had to lose all my money before I woke up. I still had, something left, and I'm not even going to go into any detail, but that I wasn't going to get rid of or sell. But ultimately, it's almost like hitting rock bottom, just like somebody in domestic violence. They get up and leave and have to start their whole life over, just like a drug addict. They keep wanting their next hit or, bump or whatever you want to call it. It's the same concept. One thing that I brought up to somebody that I met this week was trying to explain this crime that I went through it was almost like an addiction. They kept telling me I was going to get my money back and that sort of thing. It was almost like I was chasing my money. My sister mentioned that it was a, fairy tale. Well, it was probably that too because of what they told me. So I'm just throwing this out there, but I'd really appreciate any and all comments and how your family felt. We really need to try to find support for them. And I see so many family members on different group posts wanting to know what to do. And, after you show them proof and all that, that's, there's really nothing left. You can't stop their bank accounts. You can't, intervene that way. We just need to come up with a solution. The biggest solution is to stop the breeding that's going on and where it's coming from. And that's, we all know, social media and the platforms allowing it. That's the key there, people. They allow it. They're condoning it. They're allowing it. And these are crimes that are happening on their platform. This is what needs to be shared. Share it wide. But I'd like to hear comments about how your families handled this, or if there's any family members out there, please speak up. So, or you can even send me, a direct message through YouTube if you don't want to comment on YouTube. So please be kind to everybody. We don't need to sit there and belittle and make fun of the victims. I'm going in pissed mode right now because of it. It's just not right. Not right at all. And we wonder where our kids get the bullying from. Go look in the mirror. Go look in the mirror. It sure is coming from somewhere at the house. Come on, people. Thank you and have a great day. Have a great Sunday and have a blessed day. And be kind.